Good afternoon. Just a while ago you were clapping, now you feel sad. I'm overwhelmed. There's not much words to say, so I decided to write it. Let me begin by saying to the Board of Trustees of the Ramon Magsaysay Award, to my fellow awardees, to my dear family, the Lopezes, the Villanuevas, especially to my dear sister who couldn't be here, but to my father and to my mother somewhere up there, to my dear religious family, the SVD, the Divine Word missionaries, along with my inspiration, Cardinal Lambo, nandito po siya, Bishop Soc Villegas, I hope he was able to arrive. To everyone who believes that faith and justice can walk hand in hand. Oh, by the way, there are homeless people. I have two special guests. The homeless, they're here. Hindi nyo mahalata, naka-gel sila ngayon. At magagandang bihes. And sa mga sinasaluduhan ko pong mga nanay, balo, widows and orphans of the extrajudicial killings, they are here. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Thank you so much. When I first learned of this award, I simply grew quiet, and I realized this honor was never about me, but about the many lives and hands that gave it meaning. The homeless man and woman who asked not for food, but for dignity. The mother who searched for the son taken by violence by the police, his cohorts, under the orders of the past regime of the Duterte administration, and the volunteers who show up each day with open hearts. This honor belongs to you and to them. And so tonight, I receive this award not as a prize, but as a voice for those who are often silenced, for the countless voiceless victims of the war on drugs, at least 80 of whom are here with us today, for the thousands of homeless still wandering in the streets, seeking not only a meal, but a little mercy, those whose caritons have been kicked aside by powers that be and power trippers and crushed under indifference. And I receive it too for the countless defenders of human and environmental rights. Special mention to the night crawlers who are here, Vince Go and Rafael Lerma. Saludo po si Father Flavi sa inyo. They continue to keep speaking the truth even when the truth demands everything. Because when injustice persists, silence wounds the soul. To stop the bleeding, we need to start the healing. To start the healing, we should continue asking the difficult questions. How many were truly killed? Who were the perpetrators and the killers that are still at large? We took a study. There are around at least 322 men in uniform. At those in civilian, at least 1,000. Who are the real people responsible of having blood in their hands? How were they killed? Who will continue to begin these studies, this research, this investigation? That is why I strongly propose and support the creation of the EJK Truth Commission. But behind this Christ is not anger alone. It is love, wounded yet still alive. Behind this work is a story, one I proudly tell. There was a time when I too was lost, a young man once touched by darkness, until mercy found me. That encounter with mercy changed everything. It restored in me the will to live, the courage to love again. Sige na nga, aminin ko, nagkaroon din po ako ng iba't ibang love life. But I did had some love life in the past. But seriously, a love as a missionary now is a love that is beckoned only by the inner voice within, sparked by the divine words or divine words inspiration. From my own brokenness, I learned that healing is never one-sided. For in redeeming others, I too am redeemed. Out of that grace was born a calling, and from that calling, Arnold Jansen Kalinga Center, where maligo becomes a sacrament, a meal becomes a communion, and every act of care becomes a prayer. We not only clean our bodies, but we also reclaim what was lost, the dignity that was stolen by poverty. The word Kalinga is not a project. It stands for Kain, Aral, Ligo ng Ayos. It means eat, learn, bathe, and to live anew. Take note, the bathe that we have is showers. The eat that we offer is sinandoming rice. And if I ask the homeless people here, what is your most favorite? Very good. Only rice. Simple words that remind us the gospel is not only preached in pulpits, but lived out in basins of water, shared rice, and hearts that are ready to listen. It is here where the poor recreate their self-image, reclaim their self-respect, and restore their self-worth. Through the years, I have walked with the forgotten, the homeless, the addicted, the families left behind by the drug war. I have seen mothers carry grief heavier than the cross, and yet they continue to whisper to me, "Salamat pa rin, Panginoon." I have witnessed how forgiveness can bloom where fear once ruled, and how God hides in those the world refuses to see. Through paghilom, we see how healing begins where justice once failed. Among widows, orphans, and those told that they no longer matter. When mercy embraces their sorrow, it becomes the justice that restores what violence has taken by the very people that was supposed to protect them, from president, the policemen, until the barangay level. There were times when truth became dangerous, when mercy was mistaken for rebellion, and compassion was branded as defiance. But each time, I remembered what I tell our volunteers. Hindi tayo tinawag maging ligtas. Tinawag tayo upang maging tapat. We were not called to be safe. We are called to be faithful. And when you walk with the wounded, you let their pain touch your own. But in those wounds, we meet Christ again, not in statues, but in the living, the broken, in the bread. And so I have learned that greatness of spirit is not about power or prestige, but choosing again and again faith over despair, compassion over indifference, truth and courage over fear. And always, as always, and should always be, Christ above all else. Because hope is what the poor have taught me, they have shown me that dignity can rise even from the streets, that kindness is stronger than cruelty, that love, when lived, is the only revolution that lasts. A special image to the young who are here listening in the podcasts, in the Facebooks, or even in the live streams. Una, paumanhin po. At hindi ho namin kayo nabigyan na mas magarang kasalukuyang mundo. My apologies to the young for having failed to give you a better world as it is today. But it is not yet lost. You may not all wear collars or habits, but each of you carries a calling. Look around you. Someone's hunger, someone's grief, someone's silence, the environment crying. That is your altar. You do not need permission to be kind, only the courage to begin. Hindi tayo tinawag upang mamuno, ngunit tinawag tayo upang magbahagi. We are not called to rule, but simply to accompany. And may I propose, if you are looking for something to accompany these people. The names listed here are also the names whom sorry na conscious, baliktad po. The names that I also dedicate these awards to, are names that will never appear in the plaques, but they did appear in the news. But in appearing in the news, they appeared judged, maltreated, and even branded as people who fought back, even if it were lies. These are the families of the slain, the poor who still dream, the volunteers who choose compassion over comfort, and my fellow missionaries who believe that the church must carry the scent of its people. And to those who still doubt that goodness can win, look again. Every act of care, every moment of courage is a proof that the light still breaks through. Delixite, I have loved you. These are not just the words from scriptures, they are heartbeats of our vocation. It is love that moves the hand that washes their tired feet, the love that opens the arms that keep embracing the rejected, the hands that picks up a garbage when thrown in the streets and left unattended. And it is also the love that strengthens the hearts that continues to beat because it continues to believe. This is why mercy will always be stronger. The Ramon Magsaysay is not the ending, but ascending. Not a medal to display, but a mission to renew. A call to keep washing the tired feet of our nation, to keep rekindling hope where it is buried, so that by serving the least of our brethren, we all may be restored. And just to end, sama-sama po tayong maglakad sa liwanag. May we all walk with the light, through the light, and for the light. Thank you. Thank you so much.